Union Grove Missionary Baptist Church came alive with celebration with elected officials and church members to honor the legacy of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr.'s 95th birthday.
Today means that we celebrate the life, the legacy, the labor of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on his 95th birthday. We recognize that in all this work, we are living the dream out every day, and we have to understand our assignment, that we are public servants and that we are being used as an instrument to make a difference in the lives of others. And it is a reminder that Dr. King stood for racial equality, social justice. He wanted to level the playing field for Black Americans all across the country.
I have been blessed to spend time with the King family over the years. I was able to host Dr. Bernice King from March on Washington, where she spoke of Kairos, which is a word that I use often. And so for any of us that are continuing this legacy, it's our responsibility.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. strived for progress in racial equity and equality during the modern civil rights movement. In attendance, you had Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Attorney General Letitia James, Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado, and Councilmember Kevin C. Riley, who all tell us how Dr. King inspired them and how they plan to live out Dr. King's dream.
This is a day of reassurance. This is a day just to really reflect, see what you're giving back to your community, and continue to uplift Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy.
Dr. King's March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963 attracted 250,000 people to rally for civil and economic rights of Black Americans in the nation's capital that changed history. There, King delivered his majestic 17-minute I Have a Dream speech. As a college student at the time who saw this firsthand was civil rights activist Reverend Gerald Durley.
I think a story that stands out in my mind why Dr. King was a leader. We were in Skokie, Illinois, and we were all around, and they were around Dr. King. And a news reporter, very much like yourself, came up and said, "Dr. King, can we ask you a question?" And he started talking to them, and we continued to march. And Martin turned, and he said something I've never forgotten. He said, "I've got to stop giving you an interview. I've got to go catch my people. You don't have a movement, and you're not a leader until you got to catch your people." He implanted in us something that we said we'll lead in spite of, not because of.
Despite his accolades, it wasn't until nearly 20 years after his assassination in 1968 that Martin Luther King Jr. Day became federally recognized in 1986. MLK Day was designated as a national day of service in which all Americans are encouraged to volunteer to improve their communities. Reporting for BronxNet, Shanel Thompson.